So come on in, take a sip. Let's wind down. It's hump day, so we got a hump day grid to hop into today. But we've got another gift of wine here from Jeff Cortez, who joined me last Sunday as on a guest solve. And this is another of the Devo. This is the Navis Mysterium, and this is a 2022. If you look at the bottle, you'll see that this was actually just kind of hand-signed and corked by the vintner themselves. Jeff met them and got the bottles. The first one we opened actually had the barnacles, etc., from the seafloor. And this one here was had been cleaned and hand-signed, you know. And so, interestingly enough, then this being a 2022, it's just got a lot of plum, blueberry, raspberry on the nose. It's not your typical cassis-esque finding here. On the palate, this is a tannic wine. It'll be fantastic with fatty cuts of meat, really cheesy pastas, and maybe pizza, something along those lines. But something with the oils, with the fats that can kind of cut through that. This puckers my taste buds. It makes me want to eat a ribeye, right? You know, or an entire salmon. It's really, really an amazing wine. On the white light, it is just as dark, as deep a ruby as you can get. It's got this wonderful halo of like a platinum and lilac, if not an outright purple. Very, very beautiful wine. And it's just so interesting to me. This wine is Croatian. They get it ready for the bottle, and then into the ocean it goes for 1 to 2 years. It's fascinating to me. And you get all the barnacles and everything. I had to put that bottle outside, you know. It was just creating all this sand and dust where it would sit. And it's very cool, very authentic. What a cool process, really, at the end of the day. And what a fabulous wine. And to be 25 meters below the sea, where it's a constant 15 degrees centigrade there, right? I mean, it's just the perfect temperature. It's the exact temperature that I keep the wine fridge. I like all of my wines to be at 15 centigrade or 60 degrees Fahrenheit. It's just the perfect serving temperature to me. And I think much like yesterday, this wine's days are numbered. Go ahead and do its last rites now and get that over with. What a fantastic wine. That bottle's gone tonight. As you can probably infer from my implication. So let's go ahead and hop into our grid here. So we have, looks like we have a Jasin Cekinmez. Looking down at the wordplay crossword column, it looks like this is Jasin Cekinmez makes his New York Times Crossword debut. So we have another debut. Which is just a happy day for me. I mean, many, many claps, right? Many, many awesomeness going around. Love to see the new names rolling through here. So, wow, let's hop into this. Let's hop into our grid. See what we got going on today. So, a courtroom entry. 4 letters. You mean you want me to enter a plea? Maybe. Your Honor, these 2 youths. What are Utes? I'll never forget that. That was really funny. Is that my cousin Vinny? Many an email attachment. Okay, we're going to go with PDF here today. So, lead into an implied go there or think about it. So, I'm thinking since we've got 8 letters and a D, how about don't even? Don't even? Part of ESL, English as a second language, so we'll go with the ENG. Broke bread, you think maybe 8, probably. And boldly attests. Wow. I'm going to vowels. If I write somebody a letter of recommendation or do some sort of, like a personal statement, someone, I usually enthusiastically recommend them for the next, greatest position of increased authority or responsibility or whatever. But I guess I could start avowing. Core principles. Seems like this word comes out of my mouth 18 million times a day. All about the tenets of high reliability. It's the tenets of quality, patient safety, the tenets of a culture that is just and committed to zero patient harm. Tenets, tenets, tenets. All the tenets. I've got 12 of them. Char-grilled corn on the cob dish in Mexico. So I'm going to go with elote. And that's Shotzi's one of her absolute favorites. I never got into corn. Even when I was eating carbohydrates. I mean, it was like, it's corn. I mean, it's just boring stuff, right? But boy, I tell you what, get her a cup of street food, taco truck elote, and she was just all get out heaven. Like, I mean, we had
Mama's cast iron skillet
corn. Or her mama's cast iron skillet corn was apparently pretty good too. Yes. She's got her waking up back there. What's your corn? And so then, like, it's really crazy. And we had this like a truck stop just on the west side of Dallas, headed towards Fort Worth. I don't remember what it's called. I don't even care. The point is, it's just this big truck stop. And they had this restaurant, a Mexican restaurant. Maybe it's Tex-Mex. I don't know if it was Mexican or Tex-Mex. I'm not quite sure, but they sold elote outside. You could walk up in the line. I don't know if people were going to the truck stop for the gas or if they were going just for the food. I know when we went, it was just to get her some elote or whatever she was craving for the day. Those were the days. So yeah, absolutely. Subcategory. How about a foot long? $5 foot long, right? Let's see. Draw. Huh. I don't know yet. Let's see. Investment firm T row price. So maybe we're going to attract. And something bothering you? I don't know. What's the something? What's the matter? I don't know. Well, this is all kind of just guessing here. 404 not found. Oh yeah, that's my whole life. My whole life could be called a 404 error. C11 down. Okay, it's gonna be one of those. Well, we'll just get to it when we get to it. So delivery docs probably gonna be OBs. And just after birth, probably be neonatal. And quite literally, born, new birth, right? So yeah, I would say that's just after. Okay. The detector of absurdity in slang. Do you see that in there? I see a BS meter. I was hoping that I wasn't alone. But it sure seems like one. That's keen. Wow. Wowzers. Nifty. We've been seeing an awful lot of neato showing up again. Is it turned into a thing again? Are we regressing back to the 60s and 70s bubblegum talk? I mean, if that's cool, if we are, I just don't know. Grave could be somber. And 4 y 3 would be 7. So I'm assuming this is an at-bat and on base. Okay. I like it. Okay, so far today, Jasin, you are really kind of killing it. This is pretty good stuff for a Wednesday. Not a bad grid at all. Spa treatment for short. How about a Manny? And the Simpsons teacher Crabapple, and I think that's Edna Crabapple. I think I stopped watching The Simpsons when I left high school. But I've been able to keep up with who the characters are with the New York Times Crossword very easily. Apu, Mo, Ned, Flanders, Abe. Got a lot of 3-letter names in there, They seem to make their way into the grid all the time, But poor Bart and Lisa. And don't forget the DOH is a wonderful answer, too. Oh, it is what it is. Calm could be sedate. And for whatever reason, I've taken the word sedate, and I have somehow just had this connotation. It's just like, it's in my mind, if I hear sedate, someone has been hit with a tranquilizer gun. Or given a shot to calm them down, right? By the people, by the men in the white jackets, right? In the rubber room or something. That's just kind of where that goes. And that's me being the product of, I don't know, Hollywood media, watching stuff a lot. Speaking of, I watched Up. Very interesting movie. It was great to see Ed Asner. And literally, it was as if they had, they really kind of modeled the character completely after him. Though in a way, he looked like someone else to me. I don't remember who it was, but I thought it was somebody else at first. And then I was like, oh no, yeah, that's right. I thought it was the guy that played Mr. Bites. Mr. Bites. No, that was a different show. Never mind. Doesn't make any difference. That was Liv Schreiber. Anyway, regardless. Good stuff all the way around. But Up, interesting movie. Don't think I cared for the little scout kid that much. Funny, I guess. It was like Paddington in that, but you can laugh at Paddington's ineptitude. But then, I don't know. I mean, it was just one of those things, but it was just not the movie that I was expecting it to be. I've turned into a total Pixar nut. Thank you to all of you who made that possible, specifically Sue Shoemaker and Andy Wong. I mean, I don't know what I was missing all this time in my life. Thank you. I'm grateful. One translation of aloha could be peace. Comedian Minaj, Hassam, I cannot remember his name. Like Detroit, vis-a-vis 29 across. Okay. Home of the Wolverines in college sports. And I guess that would be Ann Arbor. So it's really the University of Michigan, which is the only state school that I ever really, really wanted to go to. I wanted to go so bad. Had an opportunity. But our support system, everything, including my aging grandparents and the whole gambit, it was all right there in Fort Worth, Texas. So I hung out at Texas Wesleyan and Texas Christian for my education. But I did want to be a Wolverine. I just did. Ann Arbor's got such a thriving art community too, right? I mean, I was just like, I would have been in heaven up there. And they have 4 seasons, 4, count them 4. We got 1.5 in Texas. So it's hot. And then it's brutally cold for 2 weeks. And then it's hot again. Now, I like 4 seasons, So I can't see. So I guess we're talking Detroit. So I'm assuming that we're talking about East. And I think this is a song. I don't know. Actress Longoria. If it is, I'm going to be very impressed with myself for remembering that much. Festival with jousts. Informally, and this is another one we've gotten an awful lot of lately. Thread pattern to be a weave. So I think we got a Ren Fair. They radiate warmth. Maybe heaters. We have rads here in Germany and in England and I guess all over Europe, really. The rads are pretty cool. You don't think they're going to do anything, but you turn them up and then all of a sudden they push in that boiling water and it gets warm quick. It really does. Cat breed with a distinct rear. Okay, how about a bobtail? Let me get to the derriere. Blank Easton Ellis, author of American Psycho. And I don't... Is it Bren Easton Ellis? I don't remember at all. I don't know. Olive and palm products could be oils. And people you do not want to mess with. Well, we have enough room for badasses. Let's just put it in there. It seems like that's just become a thing. Cuts of fish. Guess we're talking about fillets. And do-nothings could be idlers. Okay, so 2003 period film starring Tom Cruise and Ken Watanabe, and that is The Last Samurai. Interesting movie. When Shotzi and I watched it, I was, by the time we watched it, I guess we probably watched it around 2007 because I'd been promoted from a first lieutenant to a captain. And yes, lieutenant, I know, but I prefer the British pronunciation. I don't know why, it's just kind of nice. But we were watching it, and there's this scene at, towards the beginning, maybe around the middle somewhere, where he's talking to the chief, samurai guy, right? And he's like, "So, you are general of your army?" And then Tom Cruise is like, "I'm a captain." Is this he was asking like what the rank was. Is this a high rank? Is it a low rank? And then he's like, "It's a middle rank." He got a little defensive. "It's a middle rank." And my wife immediately, "Oh, I never heard out of Shotzi from that point forward." I mean, can I have your name, please? Yes, it's Captain Combest, Christopher. And then my wife would say, "It's a middle rank." Just like you just automatic push to talk button, right? "Yeah, hi, I'm Captain Combest. It's a middle rank." She would just right over my shoulder. "Boom, it's a middle rank." And it was kind of funny. I mean, it was. I'm also at the low end of genius, too. I'll share that one with you one day. Extra powerful as an engine. Quaint contraction. Well, this U makes me think this is turbo. And quaint contraction. My Beamer is a turbo, and let me tell you something, that car will get up and go, and I know, because I'm at the gas pump a lot. Quaint contraction, and I'm assuming this is going to be tisn't. But it's not as much fun to drive as Shotzi's little Mini Cooper. On these roads, it's fun. Many a one-star Yelp review. Okay, again, making assumptions on rants on this one. So, native of Muscat would be an Omani. Reddit Q&A. Ask me anything. I need to do that again on YouTube and on TikTok. I need to probably set up a live session soon. It's always nice to chill out and hang out with people. Maybe we can set something up for a Saturday or a Sunday afternoon my time, maybe evening-ish, so it'd be morning, afternoon for those in the States and whatever. I don't know. We'll figure something out. Wood for kite could be balsa, or for every science or history project I had as a child for my father to do. We had to get the balsa wood so he could do it, and then I could say I did it. Caramel topped dessert would be flan. I'm assuming we got a lot of assumptions going on here, because you have created a really, really clever Wednesday grid here, Jasin. It might get decorated at Christmas. I mean, are we talking about tentatively mint? Maybe a fir tree? I guess there's just kind of an odd thing rolling out of my mouth there for some reason. Tips. I don't know. German article. Okay. Die der das ein Dame. Not gonna know that one for a bit. How about the sweet by and by? All right, here we go. Metric weights, probably kgs. So tips could be ends. Campers, recreation, maybe canoeing. And so I'm assuming our German article then is ein. And workers' timeout in Westminster, or something tucked between this puzzle's shaded squares. So, got a bunch of T's here. So maybe a tea break. Very nice. They do like their tea. File menu option would be save as. Denver setting, probably, let's see, Mountain Standard Time, and then channel showing Turner Classic Movies. General on a menu, there's quite a few variations just to go with the most common one of TSO, which also stands for Texas State Optical. Division for the Astros and Angels, and I'm assuming we're talking about the AL West. Snake eyes and boxcars. These could be rolls. Drives into a corner. Could be to have trapped. Insists. Says so. Broncos QB who won back-to-back Super Bowls. And we're talking about Elway, of course. Tectonic drifters could be plates. Plates. And shout colloquially rolls here and holla. And I don't know. How did we do, Bob? This was a really fun grid. Brought back a lot of fine memories too. Like fine ones, you know. It's a middle rank. That was a good memory. Or the time I got mauled by a bobtail cat. I'm just kidding. That never actually happened. But really well done. I mean, this is not a bad grid at all. And for a debut grid at that. So, Jasin, Cekinmez. Wow. Beautiful work. This was absolutely incredible. Nothing in here out of the ordinary at all whatsoever. And thank you for the reminder that I am due for another Ask Me Anything live session. So we'll try to get that scheduled at some point. I'll throw it up in the community posts, and likewise on both apps to make sure that everybody knows in case they want to zing me with something. That's quite all right. We'll bring down our Bannier Dad-Do, and we'll call this one a day. I just want to say thank you to the new subscribers. Thank you again to Jeff Cortez for bringing us some really wild, wonderful, delicious, exotic wine, things that we just wouldn't be able to get our hands on otherwise around here. This is wonderful. And when Jasin and I get to Croatia later this summer, early in the fall, we're planning on doing that. We will have to go by the vineyard and see this. This is really good stuff. I would love to be able to dive and get my bottle of wine. Apparently that's a thing there, and so I'm gonna really check that out. Can't wait. But as always, until we see you next time, ich wünsche Ihnen einen schönen Tag noch. Auf Wiedersehen. Tschüss. Servus. Grüß Gott. Ciao. And Cin-Cin. Be well out there. Be nice to people if you can help it, but always be nice to the stranger behind you in line. That's always a kind thing to do. Something to do with karma. So if you believe in that thing, it's probably a good thing to do. Cheers. Be well out there. See you tomorrow for the Thursday grid. Let there be a rebus or 12.